Okay, be mindful everyone, because there is news right now. Okay? And whenever there is news, there might be some increased volatility. So please make sure to trade safe when there is news. Good to have you here. Welcome. It is the final day of the week. It's Friday. We always just continue. Weekend or Monday to Friday, doesn't matter. We always make content. But welcome everyone. Good to have you here. Good to have you here. And in this live stream, we are going to cover Elliott waves, of course. We're gonna take a look on the daily, 4-hour, and the lower time frames. Now, we have some news, so let's see what happens with regards to the news, right? Friday, July 26, 2:30 p.m. Central European Time, which is, well, 10 minutes ago now. So let's see if it does anything to the chart, yes or no. And maybe expect some nice volatility before the weekend hits, right? So that should be quite interesting indeed. Welcome, everyone. Sarega, Christian, Jingle, Robert, Douwe. Douwe with some banger trades yesterday. Very nice. Donovan, Brahim, Pedrick, welcome. The voice of Pi. Happy day of pumping music for pumping Bitcoin. Thank you, Koens, for the stuff you do. Cheers, the voice of Pi. Appreciate it. Yeah, I mean, yesterday was a very good day. Very nice trading day as well. Solid move to the upside, part of the move. And I had multiple entries. The idea is a bit of a swing trade, so you know, let's see what price wants to do. But yeah, it was a good day yesterday and a good day today, and it's always a pleasure. Always a pleasure. MT, welcome. Dahlia, good to have you here. Samith, Mr. Brownbuck, welcome, guys. Lucian Bizdug, almost the first one to enter the live stream. Good or bad news? Well, that's something I'm not in a position to analyze the news, because I don't know anything about news. I don't follow the news. The only thing I follow is this website, the date, and the time. I never even look at what it is. I don't look at any of this stuff here. Can as well be removed. I really do not care. I only care about the time and the date, because it can induce some extra volatility on the chart, and therefore one has to manage positions well. So maybe there's people that know more about the fundamentals and the news, and they are able to explain something about it. By the way, Eric, welcome. Frabra, good to have you here. Welcome, welcome. Mr. Brownbuck, 44/11. Oh, you mean 44 viewers, 11 likes. I actually don't know what we're on. 14. Thanks, Mr. Brownbuck. Okay, let's get started, no? I have a little bit of like an itch in my throat, gotta say. It's a little annoying. So if I out of nowhere happen to cough, you know why. Yeah? Okay, let me remove this. The boxes, this can now of course act as support, 66.3k to 66.8k, but we're going to talk about that later. I want to go to the daily time frame, toggle these on, put this in there as well. Okay, that should be sufficient. Weekly time frame. That's the most bearish scenario. Okay, we good. Let's start on the daily time frame. You're having a button on my keyboard that mutes the microphone instantly is a blessing when your throat is not like 100%. Yannis, how you doing? Welcome. I'm good. Just little itch, you know, like just like out of nowhere you might have a cough, so I'll try to keep like my trigger finger on the mute mic button. Oh boy. But yeah, everything is good. So I always like in the beginning we do a little bit of chatting Q&A, but day's been good. We've been again working on the house in the morning. Also, because we're moving abroad and doing some stuff for my wife as well, as she is South African. She doesn't yet have an EU passport, but that's coming. So we did some stuff there as well. And now live tonight with friends. Tomorrow, the final barbecue with friends as well. And then on Sunday, oh yeah, more packing. And then on Monday to my parents, Tuesday driving. So, I mean, I'll update everyone with the plan. But yeah, everything going well. Navot, welcome. Good to have you here. Little summer cold. Yeah, maybe. I don't really know. I never really get sick, but it's the throat. Of course, I also make a lot of content. Who knows, related. Harut, welcome. Good to have you here. Welcome, everyone. Another day, another live stream. So let's start in 30 seconds when we hit 12 minutes on the clock so I can remember the timestamp. Drink enough water and then start with the Elliott wave analysis. No? What's happening locally here? So price moving down. We had some bearish CVD divergences here at the high. These have played out now, right? That's why it has a check mark as well. We also have some bullish CVD divergences, both on yellow. That is what the Y means here. We are in an uptrend. Some bullish CVD is always good to see. Local uptrend, but also on the daily. So let's start. On the daily time frame, the currently highest probability scenario is a finished three-wave corrective structure, where price hit the 1-to-1 trend-based fib extension taken from the start to the end of A to the end of B, which is a common target for wave C in a zigzag structure. So that's very nice. Beautifully respected, hitting it twice, 2 wicks on the daily time frame, and we moved away from the 1-to-1. Now what we're looking for is a 5-wave impulsive structure to the upside to finish the green wave 1, and then a 3-wave corrective structure to the downside for your wave 2. Now the higher price goes, the higher the targets will be for wave 2. And in some scenarios I have in my folders, we will talk about the targets here in more detail. But this is in the broader context on the daily time frame. That's what we're looking for. We are starting to look for a retracement to the downside in a wave 2. Now here are the support resistance areas to keep the daily range very simple. Support, middle is support, resistance, and resistance, right? We moved above the, well, here it was resistance, but we moved above it. We never retested it, immediately continued to the middle, little hiccup over here, moved above, retested. Of course, preferably you want to see continuation to the upside. In that case, we have over here the white box, 71.2K to 72.8K, right? The bearish scenario is a continuation of this range sideways. So it is a longer corrective structure where we are looking for a 3-wave move and then continuation up. So even though you continue this range, it will still lead to a continuation of the trend. And also inside wave X or wave B, we preferably look for a zigzag, which is a 5-3-5 structure, meaning an impulse, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, a correction, and another impulse. Now what I draw on the chart over here should ring a bell because it looks very similar to the bullish scenario, and that is true. Because it is exactly the same type of price action, but then instead of labeling 1, 2, you're going to label this wave A, wave B, wave C, right? So in the bearish scenario, we're looking for a wave X or a wave B. Currently lower probabilities though, this particular scenario compared to the more bullish scenario. Target area for X and B are on the chart as you can see, and preferably an X or a wave B is ending after the 0.382 fib time taken from the start to the end of W. In other words, X or B finishing at least after the 17th of August, preferably. Meaning we want to see a 5, a 3-wave corrective structure, another 5, hit the target area, and then you move down. That is the bearish scenario, but in the arguably short term, you're still bullish, right? As you're going to be looking for at least a three-wave structure to the upside as a minimum. If we then go to the 4-hour time frame, we can talk about this move towards the upside in a little bit more detail. All right, let's see what happens here. So what we're looking for here, this is your bullish 4-hour time frame scenario where you do make one more high and move towards that 71k target, right? 70k, 71k is important resistance. So here we have the blue count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We want to see a final 5-wave impulse towards the upside, move above wave 3, hit one of the 2 resistance areas we have here, reject, and start a wave 2 to the downside. The resistance areas I keep an eye on is first of all 69.1 to 69.7 and then around 70.9k. Just above 70.9k, we do have another daily naked point of control at 72k, which is also an area of resistance to at least keep in mind, but I don't have a box there. So what you see is that in this scenario, we also eventually look for a move towards the downside, but you would preferably hit 70 to 71k first with an impulse to the upside. Then reject, where if price can move to 70.9k, which is the resistance area here, the target area for your wave 2 is going to be between the 05786 taken from the low to the potential high at 70.9k, giving you a common target for 2 between 62.2k and 57.2k. That is your most interesting, most important support area for your wave 2. The 382 here on my chart is an uncommon target for a wave 2. The 886 is very rare. So preferably you don't hit these 2 targets or at least find support on these targets. Currently the invalidation is the low here of your wave 4, 63.4k for this scenario, because we want to see another high. Only when price takes out this high can I remove the invalidation. All right? Because again, we're looking for a 5-wave impulsive move up towards 71k. Now this scenario currently, out of the 2 scenarios, one still to come, has as it stands the higher probability scenario, or is the highest probability scenario out of the 2, as mentioned over the past couple of days, the past week pretty much. And that is because a double 1-2 has a higher probability compared to a diagonal, but I'll talk more about this in a second, and there's a couple of more things. Now when we look at the channels and we take a base channel from the start of this move, the low of 1 to the end of 2 to the end of 1, then you can see that wave 4 hit the base channel, which is exactly what you like to see for a wave 4 as well, so that is good. If we take a trend channel from the end of 1 to the end of wave 3 to the end of wave 2, then you can also see here that price broke out of the channel, which is also what you want to see for a wave 4, as it increases the probabilities for your wave 4. And what I actually really like about the breakdown here is that price moved into that triangle that we were talking about here, right? This area of the chart, and found support and moved out of that triangle. So very, very nice bit of price action, exactly following the channels, the rules of the channels as well. So that's brilliant. Now there is one more channel left, and that is when you move up to for your wave 5, we have a so-called end channel, right? So an ending channel, which is taken from the end of 2 to the end of 4 to the end of 3, estimating the target for the end of 5, end channel. So you can see we are currently grinding the midline of the channel, And a target for your wave 5 generally is around the midline to the top of the channel. So that would be this portion of the chart. And it so happens that we also have the resistance areas here to the upside. So that's very nice. So we're currently in the channel. We want to, of course, continue to the upside, take out the highs here, move to resistance, look for a rejection, and move down. Not really looking for all-time highs at the moment. With this particular scenario, that still feels very high, moving above 73.8K. Now, from a Fibonacci perspective, if you want to have an idea of the target for a wave 5 from a Fibonacci perspective, then you can do a few things. Take a Fib from the start to the end of wave 4, and then your target for 5 is between 69.7K and 71.7K. You can take a trend-based Fib from the start of this move to the high of 3 to the low of 4. Toggle on the 0.618 and your target is 72.7K. We're creating an area, right? So it's this area that is important. And these are the two measurements that at the moment are relevant, because another way to calculate a target for 5 is a trend-based Fib from the low to the high of 1 to the low of wave 4. Toggle on the 1-to-1. But the 1-to-1 does not move above the 3. And you do want wave 5 to move above 3. It's very rare for it not to do so. So your target area for 5 would preferably be between 69 and 72, no? Which is pretty much above wave 3, all the way up to 72.7K, which also again includes the resistance areas. So that makes it, all in all, a very interesting area of resistance. And then we can look for price to move towards the downside. Now, after wave 4, if we are bullish, we want to see an impulsive move towards the upside, which means a 5-wave structure. And that is what you see on the chart here. So what you're looking at is an impulse. You have your wave 1, 2, and we're just moving up for our wave 3. Now, the most important Fibonacci level at the moment that you can pull on your chart is the 0.618. What we do not want to see is price move down, hitting the 0.618 before taking out the highs here at 68.5K, right? You want to take the highs first before hitting the 618. And the 618 is taken from the low to the high over here, because we have potential corrective price action. You can also take it to the higher high, doesn't really matter. But if price continues towards the upside, you want to move your targets to the upside as well, and of course in particular the 0.618. And the reason the 618 is so important, right, taken from this low to the high and future highs, is that the 618 invalidates a wave 4. So if we're looking for an impulse to the upside, which has to be a 5-wave impulsive structure, we can absolutely dip to the downside for a wave 4. That's no problem, right? Either here, maybe we first hit our resistance and then move down in a 4, no problem. But we don't want to hit the 618 because it invalidates a wave 4. And it would invalidate an impulsive structure, increasing probabilities for a 3-wave structure. Now, a bullish impulsive structure here has the highest probability on the 15-minute chart. So this is the one that we mainly keep an eye on. The moment you hit the 618, probabilities change, right? But at the moment, there's no reason for probabilities to change bearish here. We also hit the 1.618 trend-based Fib extension, taken from the low to the high of 1 to the low of wave 2, as you can see here. And the 1.618 is generally a minimum and also common target for a wave 3, but a wave 3 can extend higher. But the 1.618 is, compared to a wave 3, less common for a wave C in a 3-wave ABC structure. ABC would be bearish, you expect price to move down. Right? So in other words, the probabilities are higher for an impulse to the upside compared to a corrective structure. Therefore, it also impacts the probabilities on the 4-hour, as the probabilities are higher for this scenario compared to the bearish scenario, which we're going to talk about now. Carl, the only rule that a wave 3 has is that it is not allowed to be the shortest wave. So it could even be smaller than a wave 1. But of course, generally, most commonly, your wave 3 is the extended wave, right? Between a wave 1, 3, and 5, by far most common is that your wave 3 is extended. And when we talk about extended, we generally talk of at least the 1.618, if not higher, 2, 2.618, 3, 3.618, 4, 4.618. But the only rules in Elliott waves is wave 2 is not allowed to go and take the origin of 1, wave 3 is not allowed to be the shortest, and wave 4 cannot overlap with wave 1 in an impulsive structure. Those are the only 3 rules, and all the other stuff are guidelines or recommendations in Elliott waves. Your bearish scenario, which has a lower probability, as explained over the past week, is this one here, where we have a finished impulse in 1, and we already have started a move towards the downside in 2. Now again, lower probabilities for now, right, compared to your more bullish scenario, where you still move up once more and then retrace. And the reasons for those probabilities are as follows. First of all, wave 1 is a diagonal, and a diagonal has lower probabilities compared to a double 1-2 as per Elliott Wave International. And then you have your wave 2 here, which is very short in time. So if you take a fib time from the start to the end of 1 and you double click, you can see that this wave 2, right, in time, so this section, is not even 38.2% in time of wave 1. It's very short for a wave 2. Preferably wave 2 finishes at least after the 382. Even if I move this to the left here, you can see that wave 2 ended on top of the 382, right? But not like after the 382. So, and for a diagonal, by the way, for a diagonal, you want this to be the high. So it's very short for 2, and also wave 2 is quite shallow. After a diagonal, preferably you have a deeper corrective structure, which is most common. If you read in the books of Elliott Waves and you read about diagonals on the website of Elliott Wave International, you'll find that most common diagonals are ending diagonals compared to leading diagonals, first of all. And second, the moment you have a diagonal, price tends to correct to the base of the diagonal. So that's a deep corrective structure. For a wave 2, that would be like a 786 golden pocket minimum type of area, which it didn't reach. Now then we have our wave 3, 4, and eventually our wave 5 towards the upside, right? No crazy things going on here, and then you want to see a bigger move towards the downside. In your wave 2, common target here, 61 to 56.7, and then still look for another move towards the upside, right? Invalidation is the low, 53.5, but you can see that even though the bullish scenario has a higher probability on the 4-hour, in both of these scenarios, both of the higher probability scenarios, you're still looking for a move towards the downside, but preferably the bullish scenario, higher probabilities, you first move up towards that 70K, 71K target area. Look for signs of weakness, look for rejection, look for that wave 2 towards the downside. That would be a very nice swing opportunity, right? Common target area is going to be the main area of interest. We also have a CME gap here, right? For the people that love CME, can act as support. We have another area of support, another area of support. So there's a couple of additional areas of support in this general area for a wave 2. And then again, interesting area for swings to move towards the upside. So area of interest 1, area of interest 2. No? That's that. Now in the bearish scenario, if we are looking for a finished impulse to the upside and we look for a wave 2 already, we want to see a 3-wave corrective structure. I already explained it at the moment has lower probability simply because we touched the 1.618 taken from the low to the high of A to the low of B, which is more common for a wave 3 compared to a wave C, but it is still a C target, so we have to at least consider it. and the 618 is on the chart again, because the moment you would move down and hit this, probabilities change bearish and you look for downside. As long as you don't hit this level, the probabilities are higher for a move up, and we might be already in a wave 4. Where is it? Here. So 1, 2, 3, look for a 3-wave corrective structure in 4, retest this support resistance area here, this white box, and look for signs of strength and continuation. Most common targets for your wave 4 are the 236 to the 05, which is 66.8k to 65.9k, and it very nicely includes the white box here as well. So it's definitely interesting. Now we also have some bullish CVD divergences going on locally. That's what you see over here. Let me quickly refresh this. Bearish CVDs already played out. Bullish CVDs are on the chart. We still have enough room to drop in case it wants to, no? But at least we have an uptrend, we have bullish CVDs, and that's also what we like to see on the 15-minute time frame. Now we have some news, so it might increase volatility. It's already 35 minutes old, but here it is. Friday, July 26, 2:30 p.m. Central European time, so trade safe, right? And yeah, if we then look at the probabilities, then on the 4-hour time frame, the probabilities are higher for another wave 5. And on the 15-minute time frame, the probabilities at the moment are higher for an impulse to the upside compared to it being a 3-wave structure. And in an impulse to the upside, we are eventually waiting for a good range to form in a wave 4, which might be what we're doing right now. Look for one more push towards the upside in your wave 5, and then move above the highs here, right, above 68.5k, move towards 69.2k to 69.6, first area of resistance, past this, 71k. And that's that. Very, very nice. Voilà mon ami, c'est tout. So, let's put this here just in case. Up. There we go. Okay. I see Kenny. Yo, Kenny, how you doing? Preferred scenario is the highest probability scenario. For me, preferred is not a term I like to use, because preferred would indicate that it is a personal opinion. But I can only trade probabilities based on the Elliott wave theory, and I don't trade my personal opinion. I trade the rules and the guidelines. So from an Elliott wave perspective, your highest probability on the daily is, as it stands, your impulsive scenario, where you look for a 1-2 continuation. On the 4-hour time frame, right, based on my analysis earlier, which is very much rules based, right? We talk about the rules and the guidelines all the time. The higher probability scenario is still looking for a final high to finish your 1 and look for 2. Now, important to note is that in both this scenario as well as your bearish scenario, you are looking for a move to the downside eventually, right? To move into your wave 2 target area. And on the 15-minute time frame, the higher probability scenario is an impulse to the upside until invalidation would be hit, which would be the 618 at 65.5. As your wave 3 hit the 1.618, which is a higher probability for 3 compared to a wave C. It is still a target for C, but we can only play the probabilities. That's trading. And these are currently the probabilities from an Elliott wave point of view. Yes, yes. So in other words, still looking then for price to move to the upside. Also in the local pump, then you look for 1, 2, 3, 4, and then eventually 5. No? Let me put this on. So okay, we started the analysis at. Gotta check timestamps. We started at, where were we? somewhere here around 2:45, which is like 10, 20, 25, 23 minutes ago. 23 minutes ago. 3, 13, 12. Okay. Like about minute 13. Okay, timestamps off again. Good morning, Harut. Good morning. COVID ranging again now. There's no COVID problems here. I probably had COVID a couple of weeks back. I think the beginning of June. But I was very tired during the day. I only had a very small little little cough that day. But I was mainly very tired, and I still did a live stream, and I noticed, but I didn't test because it didn't feel like I was traveling the whole day. I went to France and I went back, and I was in airplanes, so I was like probably my body's just tired because I've been traveling. And then one day later, I was completely fine again, and then my mom wrote me a message saying, "Yo, I just tested positive for COVID." I was like, "Oh, then probably I had it yesterday." But that's already weeks ago. No, I don't get. I rarely, knock wood, rarely ever get sick, and it's not COVID related. I think it's a lot of talking and not enough drinking with regards to live streams and the videos. Yeah. Leva, welcome. Good to have you here. Your CVD looks different with those marks. Is that premium or can I have access? You will have access. Yes. So I'm talking to the developer. 1 second. And he's going to send an update probably over the weekend or at the end of the weekend. So we're in touch, but he had to travel. And Mr. Friends is going to finalize some stuff, and then he'll probably send it by the end of the weekend. I'll make sure to test it and have a look. And then it will be out there. Buenos dias, Iker. Welcome. I saw your email, but I already gave you the diamond roll in Discord. So you should be sorted. I'm actually not sure. Maybe Jeroen already replied to you, but else I'll just send an email still. Make sure to check out the FAQ in Diamond first before anything else, as Diamond is packed with channels and stuff going on. Salman, welcome. Maurits, goed dat je erbij bent. Welkom. Newest Diamond member. Carl, how estimate wave 5 fib levels? Oh, yeah. So the different ways, right? So let's remove this for a second. Oh no, we can keep it. So if you have an impulse to the upside, 1, 2, 3, and you have your wave 4, and you look for the targets for wave 5, there is a few things. Officially, there's 4 ways you can get a target area for 5. So you can combine all of these and then create your area. First of all, you can take with the trend-based fib extension. Oh wait, let me do this just to make it clear. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. First of all, you can take a trend-based fib from the start of 1 to the end of 1 to the end of wave 4 and toggle on the 1-to-1. Then you take a trend-based fib extension from the low of 1 to the high of 3 to the low of 4. Toggle on the 0.618, which is quite high now. But hey, every impulse is different. Sometimes these lines are very close, sometimes not. But I just randomly drew this, So let me do this. Then you take a fib from the start to the end of 4. And you toggle on the 1.618 to the 1.236. And then you can, so these are the horizontal options that you have, creating a target area. And then you can finally use a channel, and that's the ending channel, where you take a channel from the end of 2 to the end of 4 to the end of your wave 3. And then your midline to upper section is your preferred ending area for your wave 5. And the channel can give a bit of a time estimate as well, right? Because it's diagonal, so it also includes time in a way. But those are the options that you have to find your target area for your wave 5. Good to know is that if you go, so this is most commonly on the time frames below the weekly, your wave 3 is by far most commonly the extended wave. But on a weekly plus, weekly or higher time frame, it is not uncommon to have a extended wave 5, which is also known as the typical blow off top. So on a weekly, of course, the targets work exactly the same, but you always got to be mindful of extensions. Do you find useful the Fibonacci circles? I personally do not use Fibonacci circles, but Iker, if you want to know more about Fib circles, there is 2 people in the group that use Fibonacci circles. Let me find them for you. First of all, that would be Liquid Mafia. Right, so Liquid Mafia, scroll down a little bit and you'll see some of the rings that he has posted. And once in a while, he provides a ring update. Let's see some more other stuff. Oh, this is a really good post, by the way, from Liquid Mafia on TradingView. Very, very interesting style of analysis. So while that is loading, let me go to his ring chart. Where is it? Lots of typing, lots of activity. Here's another one, right? Ring charts, daily candle moving above the green ring, increasing probabilities for price to continue up. So bullish probabilities. And this is it might look very, very messy, but actually this analysis is quite awesome. So what you see here is, first of all, a legend. Now, I don't know why, can I like... No, that's my whole browser. Anyway, you kind of get the idea. So he made a legend here. So what do the icons mean? And then every bull market, he put these icons on the chart to analyze where we are in the cycle. And that would currently be around the clock that we just passed here. And the clock is time to get serious, expect the unexpected, and seize any moment of opportunity. Then you get to the yawn, right? And you can analyze this chart. Yawn is the hard work's done, take a break, we good, enjoy the ride. That's the final push up, enjoy the ride up, but remember what goes up must come down. And then 6, pack your bags, cash out. You'll be able again to find this analysis. Just look for Liquid Mafia and just scroll through his posts. It's somewhere in his post. I just opened it, I think page 1 even. And you can just check this out for yourself. It's a very fun way of analyzing the chart. So he is one ring user. And I believe, I forgot the other guy. Like I know Liquid Mafia is the most well-known in the group using rings. I think the other one was Riz or something. Or a dollar sign in front of his name. Oh, Risk. I think it was Risk. I believe Risk is also a Fibonacci ring analyst. Yeah, okay. He also uses rings. Yes. Some rings being bullish. Yeah, so I've got rings too. So I believe he also uses Fibonacci rings, but I personally do not. Fibonacci rings are also not used in the official theory of Elliott waves. Fibonacci is, but mainly the horizontal levels, not the rings or speed fan or those type of things. Is after Frost and Prechter Elliott wave made from Declare a useful read? Frost and Prechter nice, but all info is a bit scattered throughout the book. Well, to be honest, I never read any other Elliott wave book except from Frost and Prechter, because the book of Frost and Prechter is the official Elliott Wave book, published by Elliott Wave International, with Frost and Prechter being the authors. So I've never got any other book, to be honest. So I wouldn't be able to talk to you about other books except for Elliott Wave Principle by Frost and Prechter. 1 second, let me get the book. Man, when you're moving to another place, your house is always a mess. You got to search all things. It takes a little bit longer. Elliott Wave Principle. That's the only book I have. I never got another one. So, but besides the book, like, I think like the book is a nice to have. Like, if you love Elliott Waves, if you love the type of analysis, it's a great book to have in your closet. But you definitely do not need the book for your analysis, right? There's 2 things I recommend to do first, actually. First of all, go to this website. Link is in the description. Just open the description, scroll down a bit to Elliott Wave Education. This is a completely free website. I'm not affiliated by any means, but it's the most amazing website I have found with regards to Elliott Waves, where you can also see all the targets: normal, impulse, extended wave 1 impulse, extended wave 5, where is it here, impulse, and then zigzags, triangles, diagonals, So this one is really good. I think 90-95% of what's on this website is correct, and it shows all like targets and stuff. So it's a really good website. And second is, if you go to the YouTube channel, all right, and you check out the first playlist mentioned on the home screen here, I go through all the different scenarios as well. So everything you need to know is in the playlist here. So I'm actually curious. Playlist. So you can also go to playlist, and then you can go view the full playlist. So here you go. June 5th launched. Quite impressive. 9.3k people that have been studying Elliott Waves. Good stuff. Keep it up. So yeah, and here you can find everything you need to know. So we answered that part. Bullish video on the 15th, that's correct. Will the train mess in France affect your plans moving? No. We go by car. So we have a big car, and we can fit 4 suitcases. We probably have a few boxes, like, and other stuff. So we go by car, and just in case we can't take everything, we just leave some stuff at my parents' place in the Netherlands, and we will come back in August again, probably at the end of August, so we can take some more stuff. Is the rule also for leading, diagonal, trying, time of wave 2? Time is always a guideline. There is no rule in time, but what is important with time is, and you'll see it in the book, is that it's about ratio analysis. So time is very important, but they didn't make it a rule, because in Elliott Waves there's only 3 rules, right? As mentioned earlier, wave 3 isn't the shortest, wave 2 can't go below or above wave 1, like can't take the origin of wave 1, and wave 4 is not allowed to overlap with wave 1. But if you look at the content of the book, then first of all, whoops, let me do this nicely. You see here, guidelines of wave formation. Alternation has to do with time. Wave equality has to do with time as well. The right look has to do with time as well. And then if we go to the other page here, then here you go, chapter 4, ratio analysis and Fibonacci time sequences. This whole chapter is about time. So time is very, very important. And what I do is I use Fibonacci time to check the ratio of the different waves with one another. So like generally, and also if you go through the playlist that I have here, you will see that the Fibonacci times that I speak about the most are the 3A2 and the 5 or 6 Fib time. any wave ending before the 302 is considered very short. It's a low probability that that happens because the ratio is off, right? You have a wave 1 or a wave W or a wave A, and then your wave B, 2 or X is incredibly short in time compared to your first structure. Can happen more often for corrective structures in an X or B than a 2, but still, like, it's not common, right? Because ratio. But also a wave 2 or a B or an X being 5 or 6 times longer than your wave 1 or W or A is also very uncommon, right? Doesn't really make sense because it is so big, it starts to lose the right look. It loses the ratio. And therefore, the FIB times I use are actually covered in the book, but I translate their text into the FIB times that I use. So that's where it comes from. It's actually ratio analysis. Mr. Kenny, how you doing, man, in Spain? Oksana, hi. On the 4-hour time frame, can it be a 1-1-2 with that spike being in second 1-2? I guess you talk about this being the second 1-2. Preferably in a multi 1-2, you have 1-2, 1-2, 1-2, where your wave 1s take the high of the previous one. It's not a must, but it is most common. Can this be another 1-2? Maybe, but I prefer looking for a double before a triple. And the main change would be if you do go for one. Also, this 1-2, if this is a 1-2, it is incredibly short in time, both wave 1 and wave 2, compared to your first 1-2, and then your lower degree 1-2. Because don't forget, this section here is a lower degree 1-2, and this is your higher degree 1-2. But look at the difference between the two, right? So it's not really something I look for at the moment. But you'll only officially, of course, will know if 1-2, 1-2, 1-2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 5, 4, 5. But it's not something I'm looking for at the moment. I from an Elliott wave point of view, this 1-2 versus this 1-2, it makes sense that it's a double compared to a triple when you compare them in time and size. This is your higher degree 1-2 compared to then this being a lower degree, but the lower degree is so much bigger. So a double would work a bit better there. Reloads, good morning. Yes, sir. Good to have you here. Still daily here. Thanks for all. Can you show us the FIB target extension for wave 5 for the altcoin market and also wave 2 target? Most of us are trading alts. I don't. So visit me on Sunday for the altcoin stream. But if you want to know a wave 5 extension target, then you can of course just pull it yourself. You have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 trend-based FIB extension from the low of 1 to the high of 3 to the low of 4, and then your targets or your extension target for a 5, whereas it is the 1.618, which then is all the way up here in this case. But that's your target. Now every Sunday we do have an altcoin live stream, and I recently did the others chart. So here, the most recent altcoin stream on Sunday. Oh, this one was actually Tuesday, but usually they're on Sunday. I did others, Solana, ETH, Link, DOT, Tesla, Matic, and Nvidia, because stocks are also allowed. The week before was ETH, Link, Near, DOT, Gala, Jasmy, Sol, ICP, Matic, SWI, Nifty 50. Then we did Sol, Link, ETH, Rune, SWI, ADA, DOT, Matic, Phil, ICP, Beam, Doge, and etc. Right? So make sure to check this out. Maybe the others chart may be of interest to you as well, because of the alts. But I cover the alts once a week in usually a bit of a longer live stream where we cover many different charts, as the focus is Bitcoin, but we do cover alts once a week in detail on the weekly, daily time frames. Sometimes we zoom in and make sure that everyone knows what's going on there. Yanitha, good morning. Good to have you here. Wave 2 target is, by the way, Wave 2 is always common target, the 05 to the 786. So your 05786 taken from the start to the end of 1, and the 382 is uncommon, 886 is rare for a Wave 2. Wizard, how you doing, bro? Good to have you here. Jeroen, welcome. Jay. Thank you, Jay. Yeah, I haven't yet prepared everyone for what's to come, but I'm happy you've noticed. So okay, let me include you a little bit on what's gonna happen on the channel, right? So yesterday, Jeroen, the guy here, and myself were in Arnhem visiting a friend of mine, but he also works for a very big marketing agency. And there's a couple of things that I want to do to professionalize the channel, but also to help more people. And that's where marketing comes in. So I need a website. We're going to work on the thumbnail designs. We're going to change the text on thumbnails so that every video will have a separate title. We're going to change titles so that it's easier to recognize if it's a new video or one that you've already watched. The style is going to be quite similar. Let me show you. Wait, maybe it's actually on my home screen. Let me scroll up here. Yeah, so like you can see, our currently higher probability scenario will be in the text on the thumbnail, right? So currently the higher probability on the 4 hour is an impulsive structure to the upside, so that's why it's on the thumbnail. I'm not a big fan of making things very clickbaity, but we do want to communicate the highest probability scenario of one of the time frames I am covering in the video. Maybe put Elliott waves in there or not, but we'll see. I'm also going to change the titles to reflect the text on the thumbnail, right? So we're going to do that as well. And of course, compared to my traditional thumbnails, these ones here, doing this is of course arguably more clickbaity, but at the same time, it's not, because what's happening in the content is I literally explain the thumbnail. And it always covers the higher probability scenario, right? So it's also always probabilities related. But every thumbnail will have a different text, maybe a different background. That's stuff that Jeroen is working on. So Jeroen, like, he's fast, man. He was like, yesterday we had the meeting. He immediately this morning came up with 2 thumbnails. I'm a bit slower because of everything that's happening, but at least I got the thumbnail in, but not the title. So we're going to have videos where thumbs are new, titles will change. Every title will be different instead of always the same, making it easier for you to recognize if it's a new video. And hopefully we can help more people if they click, of course. That's the question. We don't know, but that's part of running a YouTube channel. But Koen is still going to be Koen. I'm never going to have thumbnails with my face wide open like Bitcoin going to 500 million. You will never see me record on a phone with selfie cam and be like walking around in my t-shirt and my short on the beach and be like, oh, Bitcoin's gonna do, that's not my style. I won't have really fucking annoying alarms at the beginning of my video that I saw some other YouTubers do nowadays. It's blowing my ears. It's horrible stuff. No, we have a title, we have a thumbnail. It will reflect the higher probability scenario. Right? Hopefully people click because they enjoy to eventually watch. And it's just going to be Koen. Hi everyone, welcome to another Elliott wave analysis on Bitcoin. And we go straight in, like we always do. So my personality is not really that extravagant, as they say in analysis, I suppose, that extra. So yeah, and also, so there's going to be a website that will take months. Thumbnails, titles will change. There's stuff we're working on in the background as well, which is very, very exciting, which will help people like many of you as well. And the CVD that I am using will have an update probably this weekend or somewhere soon, and then I can share that as well. So yeah, there's a lot happening at the moment, but it's all for the better. So yeah, very, very interesting. So yes, Jay noticed. Yeah, we continuously try to improve, and of course make the channel more attractive for new people to click, hang out, appreciate the content, and maybe stay and be part of the community. Would be great. Arslan, is a lower than expected core PC good for crypto or bad? Time Traveler replied here. Thank you, Time Traveler, as well. I'm not very. I don't know. I don't know anything about news. The only thing I use news for is volatility. So I'm like, okay, this is tradingeconomics.com, public website. Friday, July 26th. I look at the time and that's it. And then I continue with my day. Potential swing trade setup on Bitcoin after a very long time. Yeah, of course. Previously, I mean, the last swing trade, the best swing trade position, of course, was the lows here. I personally took one or built one because I entered in 3 positions here at the low of the move, looking for the wave 5. So this is the area where I entered 3 positions, building as I got more confirmation. So I entered with a smaller position, which is like the start, that's the foundation. And then as more confirmation came in, other positions were already in the books. I had a trigger market order in the books, and the moment those levels got hit, probabilities increased for upside. So I compound that way and increase my position. So yeah, very nice. So it's arguably still a swing trade. Maybe it's more like a day trade in a way that it's only going to be maybe, I don't know, 1, 2, 3 days. Well, we got to wait and see where price is when the weekend hits. But it's pretty good. I mean, for a swing trade, arguably would be one that you at least hold for half a week or something. I don't think that's going to be the case with the trade that I'm in at the moment. But it's good nonetheless. Money is money. The bullish divergences. Yeah, Dawa. Blow. The meme, the meme of the guy like pumping Bitcoin. Up. So the bullish divergences have now played out locally here on the 15-minute time frame. We took out the highs. So that's nice. We had some bullish CVDs here on the 5-minute as well. 3-minute, 5-minute, this one. Also played out now. Absolutely brilliant. Is it a flattened 4 wave ongoing right now? Wave 4s generally are complex, right? They're difficult structures. So I tend, especially on the lower time frame, I tend to not go to the 5 or 3-minute chart to count this. There is the potential for, of course, a flatten in A, B, and then a wave C, which becomes less likely. Let me check if the 1.618 is hit. Not yet, so it's still possible. The moment you hit the 1.618, probabilities go down for a flat. So yeah, a flat is one of the scenarios for a 4, A, B, C, grab the highs, and then eventually continue, right? Bullish CVD is now played out, so these are neutralized. So there's no CVDs anymore on the chart now. But if you hit the 1.618 at 67.9, it reduces probabilities for a flat, increasing probabilities to continue. But generally, when I'm looking for a wave 4 on the lower time frames here, I tend not to count it in detail because it's not really worth the time and the effort. As a way forward can be, you can have your WXY here, you can have a running flat ABC, right? It's not you can have triangles, zigzags, complex structures. I'm not really a 3-minute counter. No. Get the bread, man. Do what you got to do. The phase will be the same, overset, Tim. I like the vision of the channel is to help as many people as possible with Elliott waves, either studying Elliott waves, understanding Elliott waves, informing them using Elliott waves, helping them using Elliott waves. But in order to achieve the goal of helping people in that way, of course, you need to attract people to click on thumbnails, because in the end, that's pretty much what YouTube is. Now, the growth of the channel is fast. I mean, the channel is growing every day, and the channel is only there for a year and a few months. So 1 year and 5 months now, and we're from 0 to 12.7K, which is nuts. It's crazy. I never expected that to happen. But now we are starting to move into a second phase of the channel where we are, of course, professionalizing and doing a lot of different things to expand the reach and help more people, which includes thumbnails and also making a bit more of like educational videos. I think the next educational video I'm going to make is going to be about the 6 steps I always talk about in live streams. But then I can make a video about the 6 steps. And for the ones that don't know, those are 6 steps that will significantly increase the chances for you to be a very good, consistently profitable trader. It's steps that I've done in my career. And I always talk about them in live streams because people tend to ask long or short. They don't have a plan. And that's what the 6 steps are about. So I think that's going to be the next educational video, just so that if I get the question, I can just dump the link in the chat and then be like, watch this. No, absolutely not, Arslan. It's in the end, it's just not my personality. I don't mind putting text on the chart and but I like to have very simplistic. I think the design that Jeroen made is awesome. Green with blue, right? It's you can see the 2 thumbnails here. This one is green and blue, but now you have a bit of a background and some text. That's perfectly fine, but this is going to be the picture. I'm not going to have all of those different faces, and so we first do this stuff. Solid rejection here at the flat target. No. So the most common target for 4 is 236.05. We haven't hit it yet. So of course, if you do end up in a flat, if you change the market structure locally at least, you do want to see market structure change to increase probabilities of a flat. Because else it can just be another 1 2 1 2 and you continue. So you want to change the structure on the 5 minute 3 minute to increase probabilities of a flat in an ABC, increases probabilities to take the low, retest the box, hit the target area for 4 and then move up. But you do want to change the structure. You want to change it, else you can just get a buildup of multiple 1 2s on the very low time frame, which would be more bullish. Make at least 1 thumbnail with a croissant or baguette. Yo, I'll keep it in mind when I walk in the bakery at patisserie. I'll be thinking about you, Dao. I'll be making a selfie for Jeroen with my croissant. Yeah, nice. Nice one. Gold update. I did the gold already. Not much to update on because with the gold analysis that I did here, I did the yearly, the monthly, the weekly, and the daily on gold. And of course, on those time frames, not everything is changing very quickly. So I recommend to check out that video. Chromo, the idea is good. I think it will give the channel a new lease of life. I'm not looking for the thumbnails. I'm just here for the good analysis. Amen. That's the goal. That's the goal. You know, like in the end, it's quite simple. If you do a shit job, no one's gonna follow, right? Now, luckily, the channel grew from 0 to 12.7 in a year and 5 months now. So we must do something very well. And luckily, most of these scenarios, or almost all, play out very nicely. We know what to look for, where the probabilities change, and we trade it. So yeah, it's good. It's good, it's good, it's good. But eventually we want to professionalize. Like I remember back in the old days, I had these thumbnails, even before Douwe, which is it's Big Ladusky. So the oldest videos, look, these were my very old thumbnails. This is where I started. I made this in paint.net. Press 1 in the chat if you use paint.net. I'm curious. Many people know about Paint, but paint.net is actually good. But yeah, this is where these were the thumbnails. Yeah. Anyone using paint.net? You will also see that how the videos were structured, description, everything was less professional. But what's most important is you just start and you're consistent. Video. That's what it's about. For me, it felt like a multi-day swing trade. Yeah, but that's because you're usually on the very low time frame. The moment, Douwe, you hold one trade longer than 4 hours, it's a swing, yo. Hey, I just joined. I was scrolling through the video. What is the name of the book you showed? Oh, sorry for being so late. Hamza, Elliott Wave Principle by Frost and Prechter. Right? Link is in the description if you're interested. That's, of course, an affiliate link, by the way. But yeah, that's the Elliott Wave Bible, as they like to say. James K, thank you, sir. Appreciate your message, man. I love Elliott Waves. I think it's an amazing tool, but I also believe that because many experience Elliott Waves as a very difficult style of analysis, it kind of makes them avoid the theory. It kind of stops them from learning about it. And it's not necessarily the goal to make people teach, but at least hopefully they can follow the channel and then they see the analysis, and they don't necessarily have to do the analysis themselves, but hopefully they get an idea of how it works based on my explanation. Because in every video I always explain, where do I pull the channels from, where do I pull the Fibonacci's from, what is common, what is rare, and hopefully these things by repetition are things that people will remember, and then it becomes easier and easier and easier and easier and easier to follow the content because their knowledge is increasing. So I don't just provide an update and be like, yo, this is the highest probability, right? A move up has a high probability and we're finished in a minute. I also really try to explain the why and how I pull certain things. So hopefully people eventually can try to integrate it in their own style of analysis. But appreciate your message, man, James. YouTube analytics session with Jeroen. Yeah, I'm in. So I'm quite clueless with YouTube analytics. I actually never look at analytics. Yesterday, the guy, the buddy of mine, the marketing guy, he also went into my Google Analytics and checked some stuff. So I've never visited those type of pages. He was checking stuff between how much view time is there between subscribers and non-subscribers, and a lot of different measurements. I don't know. The only thing I know is that out of all the people watching the videos in the past 28 days, 81% are subscribed, which means that's insane. Which means most of the viewers are subscribed and 19% is not. And now you want to grow the 19% because those are the non-subs. But it just shows like the core community here is very, very tight, which is really cool to see. I was that was a proud moment when he said like, yo, 81% of the viewers are subscribed. Like, that's crazy. So many sell orders at 67.9. Oh, that's pretty much where we are now. Yeah, I think we are close to the top. Yeah, there is definitely the potential here for wave 4 price action. I mean, 1 2 1 2 3 4 1 2 1 2 1 2 or 1 2 3 4 5 4 5. But then you would expect one more bigger push up, of course, an impulse, and you want to move above your 68.5 to finish the higher degree 5. Unless this is altogether 1, you go down for 2 3 4 5, but that would mean your targets are going to be super high. So preferably this is your impulse. But yeah, wave 4 most commonly is longer than wave 2. Absolutely no problem to continue ranging here and then still pump in a 5. But Arslan, I was happy to find a fellow Dutchie on YouTube with good analysis, but I saw you are leaving the country. Yo, Arslan, I still got my Dutch passport, eh? And I will always have it. I will always have it. So yeah, we are moving, but I will always have my Dutch passport. So I will always be a fellow Dutchie. Actually, in the upcoming months, I'll probably be in the Netherlands every month. End of August, around the 24th of September. October, I'll be in Mauritius in Africa. I don't know, 1 or 2 weeks. I don't know what the plan is. In November, what was in November? Oh yeah, in November, I have a couple of speaking gigs in the Netherlands. Around like, I think it's around the 10th of November. And then in December, Christmas, so I'll be with my family. So pretty much every month, except for October, I'll be in the Netherlands. Yeah. So, you know. Do you ever use RSI with Elliott wave theory to help identify the waves? I personally don't like to use RSI. I prefer to use CVD, which for many Elliott wave analysts is not that well known, I suppose, because most commonly people think about, hey, Elliott waves equals RSI. But I prefer CVD over the RSI, as the RSI is lagging and CVD is not. CVD directly communicates what's happening now. And the thing with RSI for me was, so it's still, by the way, it's an amazing tool, right? RSI is very helpful. It's just not something that I like in my way of trading. And with RSI, if you have multiple 1-2s, this is where I identified eventually the problem, right? So if you have a 1-2, 1-2, 1-2, and then you have your 3, 4, 5, 4, 5. Wait, let me make this nicer. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 5, 4, 5. In this case, your first RSI divergence will be here, right? Because you generally experience or have an RSI divergence between the high of a 3 and a wave 5, 3-5 divergence, right? That's the most common, the well-known one. The problem is that if you have multiple 1-2s, you will have multiple 4-5s, so you will have an RSI divergence, RSI divergence, RSI divergence. The thing is that your first RSI divergence, right, might be 20k away from the eventual top. So if you would short based on RSI divergence or take early profits, you might miss out immensely. And this is an example of the bull market that we're in right now. So your first RSI divergence was at about 34k, by the way. So we move to the upside here, right? And we have a couple of 1-2s, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, and 2, 3, and then 4, 5, 4, 5, you know, da, 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 da. And then you had your first RSI divergence here. You can go to RSI and check it out. Why not do it now? Let's go. RSI, there we go. I might have to go to the lower time frame. Oh no, I don't. So here you go. Oops. So higher highs on price, lower highs on the RSI. If you would have used this as like, oh, we might be topping soon. 35k, the first big retracement started at 48. So you just missed 13k. We never went down to the first area of RSI divergence. We continued towards the upside again, right? And now we're here. But just for like, this is where we had an RSI divergence, and I prefer using CVD because what CVD showed was bullish, 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 bullish. And that's what I'm looking for, right? Of course, it will show bearish CVD as well during retracements, right? Just like in this range as well. But for me, the CVD is a lot more effective to read Elliott waves. Also at the low here, right? I'm not sure what RSI did here at the low. However, what I do know is that here we had bullish CVD, bullish CVD, bullish CVD, bullish CVD, bullish CVD. I mean, that just screams like, yo, we're going to be turning here, right? It just adds to the probabilities of moving up. And do we have an RSI divergence here? No, we don't actually, because we made a lower low on RSI as well as on the chart. So, yeah. I don't know. I think it's an amazing tool, and you can use any tool in trading. Anything works, right? Anything. You can trade trend lines, you can trade patterns, you can trade order flow, DOM, doesn't matter, Elliott waves. You can use RSI, MACD, money flow indicator. It's all amazing, but in my set of tools, in my specialty, I don't use the RSI, and I much more prefer CVD, which for me, CVD is the best indicator out there, period. There's no indicator I have found that beats CVD in its efficiency. For me, by far the best. And that's why I also, it's probably also the reason it's the most viewed video on my channel, because I talk about it so much. CVD, 28k views, it's the number one. So I made a video about it. I also have a one-pager about it in Discord. My templates are there, and you know, yeah, it's amazing. Love CVD. I'm like 10 years older, and you are the boomer. Yeah. Phew. Karamo, mad respect for the grind. Thanks, man. It's been a grind, and it's still a grind, but I love the grind. I love being live, making videos, being part of the community, answering questions. You know, that's I love that stuff. It's awesome. I also really enjoy live streams, maybe because of my professional gaming background when I was on Twitch back in the day. Hunter, welcome. Hamza, pleasure. I'm actually up early to watch live. Maddie the Baddie, good to have you here. Welcome, man. Welcome, welcome. Good morning. Julius, how do you count as impulse on the 50-minute? Is it just a wave 1 or wave 5? Preferably this is your wave 5. So not wave 1 or 5. So what you're talking about here was, of course, then in this case that you have your 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to finish your bigger 5. But that would mean that if this is only your wave 1, then this wave 5 is going to move above all-time high easy. Like your wave 3 is going to go towards 80k. So that's not really what we're looking for. So preferably this single structure up is going to be your wave 5. Now looking at the volume, we currently have a volume increase, as you can see here, right? So preferably from an Elliott wave point of view, your wave 3 is not yet in, your wave 4 is not yet in, and your 5 is not yet in. You're still working on these. As price is moving higher on increasing volume. The highest amount of volume is most commonly in your wave 3, not in your wave 5. So the moment you see your volume increase, we preferably start to relabel and look for a higher 3. Also, this range here never retraced to the common target of a wave 4, but for a flat, we now did hit the 1.618. So a flat becomes unlikely for a wave 4 now in an ABC, increasing probabilities for continuation. Or you finish a 3 and then move down in a 4. But yeah, so now we relabel this and we just wait again for price to start ranging. As long as price is moving up on volume, we just wait for a range to form. The only one that we need is the 0.618. And we're going to just move it up as price is moving up as well. So 618 is your invalidation. Like your strat, you need the one metric. Yeah. Yeah, you want a strategy that is as easy as possible. Now, Elliott waves is, of course, very complex. So it's interesting that I say it, but looking for entries and trading, it doesn't have to be difficult. That is correct, Big Ladai. Oh, wait, you talk about the YouTube channel. You need one metric. Yeah, CTR, you know. But yeah, let's see how things roll. Happy to chat. Rattle Rag, welcome. Good to have you here. Do you care about altcoins? Yes. Is Elliott wave applicable for Bitcoin dominance? It's always an interesting question because Bitcoin dominance is a percentage chart, and the dominance can never go below 0 or above 100. So you'll be forever ranging. It forever goes sideways. So the thing with dominance is that you probably just have to put a range on the chart, right? And just exit at the high with regards to Bitcoin or alts or whatever. But you can use it for trading. When Bitcoin dominance is at the high, you exit or enter certain positions. When it's at the low, you know, that's the way to go. Bitcoin dominance can't really be counted that effectively. It's always going to be 5 moves up, 3 waves down. 5 moves up, 3 waves down. Yeah. I'm a thumbnail designer. I want to work with you. As for at the moment, Jeroen is doing a great job, right? So he will be the absolute lead guy. But feel free to at least share ideas, and you know we're also always happy to share ideas and make thumbnails. Jeroen will always be leading now, but also with Douwe sometimes, you know, it's fun to chat. And you know, you can always just send an email. So koenztrading@outlook.com, or write me a DM and see what's up. Yeah. Sally Mittenant. Jared, welcome. Can Bitcoin possibly drop terribly since it pushed so much? On the 4-hour, the answer would be yes, but the probabilities are higher from an Elliott wave point of view to first still look for a move up to finish your one, and then look for that drop towards the downside, but make a higher low, right? So the probabilities are higher to make a higher low and not take the low at 53, make a higher low between around 62 to 57.2, and then continue with another leg up. Can you see how many of the subscribers have had a membership? No, I can't. There's not a percentage of that. No, it's not communicated. So yeah, I wouldn't know. Can you see how many? Oh, here, yeah. Let's spend Christmas all together around the candles. What I do like about Christmas is, or at least also in the Netherlands, you have some of the cities or villages that do candle tours. I like candle tours. It's always nice. Rudy, welcome. Happy Friday. Soon home again from work and enjoying your weekend, right? Adam, good morning. Good morning, man. I really have to reply to your message. And then we can and also Jeroen. I need to write Jeroen about you. It's going to be exciting. It's going to be quite interesting. See what happens now. Legionario, welcome. Always late as well, but you're here nonetheless. Husam, cheers. So we are back to bullish channel now. The yellow one. The yellow one is only used to look for wave 4. So it's now removed from the chart. So in this scenario, the yellow channel, the trend channel, right? Taken from the end of 1 to the end of 3 to the low of 2. This is your trend channel. And what the role is of this channel, what the function is of this channel, right, is you wait for price to break out of the channel, which increases probabilities for your wave 4. So what happens is, of course, if you don't yet have all of this price section, right, if you don't have all of this, right, then what you'll do is you pull so once you break out, you're going to pull this trend channel, from the high of 1 to, let's say, the high here, and then to your low of your 2. And then as price is moving up without breaking the channel, you move it up, 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 up. So you're going to move it here, then you're going to move it there, right? We didn't break the channel here. Okay, and then price continues, cool. So we just extend the channel to this high, and then we make a higher high, we make a higher high, right? Make sure to put it on low of 2. And then here we break out. The only role of the trend channel is to look for a wave 4, actually. So as long as you do not break the channel, the probabilities are higher, you're still in a wave 3. The moment you break the channel, or at least test the low of the channel, that's when the probabilities go up. You're looking for 4 and one more push up in 5. Now, after this happened, you can remove this channel because it lost its relevance. And now you use the end channel taken from the end of 2 to the end of 4 to the end of 3. And then what you're looking for is a wave 5 to end, preferably in the upper half here. At least with this channel. Because of course we want to take the high of 3. Right, we have some resistance areas here as well. So yeah. So now this becomes the only channel that is relevant. The end channel, which is this one here. Do you think gaming coins are done? I'm not really, I gotta be honest, I'm not really involved with gaming coins. So I've been in the gaming and esports industry and working in that industry for 18 years now. Professional gamer, entrepreneur, global keynote speaker, board member of the Global Esports Federation, esports team owner, television host, event organizer. I've done a lot of stuff in the past 18 years. But I don't know anything about gaming coins, especially in esports. It's very unknown. Maybe in general gaming it's bigger, but I wouldn't know. I'm not really involved with the gaming coins. GTP Sleeper, what's up? What's up? What's up? Bitcoin conference. Yeah, that was. Is it still ongoing? So we are still in wave 3 in your opinion? Because the volume is increasing with the recent move up, the probabilities increase for that. Let me put this on the chart here. So you can see price moving up, volume increasing. So yes, probabilities are higher. Your wave 3 is not finished. So you're still looking for a wave 3 to finish, yeah. And of course, after you finish your 3, you're going to look for 4 and then one more push up in your 5. But wave 3, by far most commonly, your wave 3 has the highest amount of volume. And in this local trend to the upside, the highest volume is now here. So therefore, preferably, this high is not your wave 3. You're still looking for wave 3 here or wave 3 higher. And now we just got to wait for a range, right? Wait for a range. Label the bigger range wave 4, move up to the upside, preferably on lower volume for your wave 5. Now wave 5 of wave 3 can at times end on high volume, but it's just general wave 3. You know, you want that to be the highest volume wave. Probability wise, that's what you're looking for. What actually is used to make CVD? The concept is all about market orders. I think the best way to explain CVD would be for you to check out this video. So if you go to videos popular, or you go to the home screen, probably on the home screen, it's probably on the home page, but else you go down and then here is CVD. Because that is where in about 9 minutes, I explain everything you need to know about CVD, how it works, what it is, what the background is of, you know, what it represents, because it represents market orders. And what you can see using CVD is absorption. And absorption can be traded. Now, in a nutshell, right, you can check out this one pager. It's in Discord. You can simply download it, where I shortly summarize what CVD does and what it means. And then I talk about absorption which is the one that you want to trade, and exhaustion, which generally is not traded. Much lower probabilities for that to play out. So, tradable, not tradable. And then here's also, can you see the link to the video at the bottom? No, it's just going. There you go. So also the video is here in the bottom. So I made a one-pager for you as well. So I made a video on a one-pager to explain what CVD is. Yeah, but it's about tracking market orders and using absorption in your trading. Christian, welcome. Is there a chance? What's up, Cola? By the way, good to have you here again. Is there a chance that all of wave 1 is in and we are just seeing a high B wave? In that case, you need to count this as a 3-wave structure, but because of the extension, the probabilities are higher at the moment for this to be a impulsive structure. So that is why, yeah, is there the chance? Yes, because we have the scenario, but you are now moving above the 1.618, which is more common for a wave 3 compared to a wave C, increasing probabilities for an impulse up compared to a 3-wave corrective structure up. So it's all probabilities. Is it a scenario? Yes, I have it in my folders. We're prepped, but it is not the highest probability scenario. Unless you hit the 618 at 65.8, 65.7. Asking for a friend. We just start moving the 5 target by dragging the fibs up. The 618 is your invalidation, and also your wave 5 targets are going to move up as well. Correct, down. Correct. Heart surgeon if the need arises. I mean, I was a medical student, but I never got into the master. Like, I was in a master, like you have 3 years of bachelor and 3 years of master, but I never finished and moved into cardiology, and surgery. But I do have, always close, I do have the pocketbook, cardiology and vascular medicine. Yeah. Oh man, I love the heart. It's such a unique organ. So first of all, I love medicine because I love the human body and I love helping people. But what's fascinating about the heart is I saw my first open heart surgery when I was like 15 years old or something. That is when I saw the first one. I was allowed to go with a surgeon and have a look. And it's difficult to explain how this can sound very scary, but how amazing it is to see a surgery, open heart surgery on a live human being, where you see the procedure, you see the detail, you see them opening up the rib cage, you see the heart, the pocket of the heart, you see the heart, of course, pumping because the guy or the woman is alive, and depending on the surgery, they have to attach the lung heart like machine, right, that takes over. Like, it's fascinating. 1 second. So yeah, I mean, that's it's amazing. And I have seen so many open heart surgeries because every time I had some time, I wrote to doctor. I'm like, yo, can I come? Can I help? Can I check it out? Yeah, fascinating. So the only medicine book that I have in my house still from my study is this one. It's the pocketbook Cardiology. Yeah. If it wasn't for esports and entrepreneurship and trading, I would have been I would have gone for like cardio surgery. You know. It's also an organ that when you do surgery on the heart, it's high pressure, it's high adrenaline, it's life or death in most of the cases. It's detail. It's I love that environment. That's the environment where I feel comfortable. Yeah. I can still write the doctor and be like, yo, can we hang out again? I want to see one again. But nowadays they go more and more and more towards closed heart surgeries because it's healthier for the patient, where they basically operate on you just by using the sticks. So they just make some holes and they don't open everything up. And when is a Koens conference? An Elliott wave, koenztrading Elliott wave conference or whatever. I don't know. Like I do sometimes get questions about offline event, but I never really thought about it yet. It should be fun to organize one sometime and see if people are interested in coming and want to hang out. Probably the first one will be very small. I don't know. Maybe I expect like 10 people, maybe 20 people. And I can teach live about Elliott waves, and I can explain why I took some trades and how it worked, and more about the strategy I use myself. And I think it should be interesting. Be with like-minded people, but trading psychology is a big thing as well. So yeah, and then have some exercises and should be fun. But I've never really, really thought about doing it just yet. Can you add the trend channel to your Elliott Wave beginner's guide? Yeah, all three. I should add all three to the beginner's guide. But what I like to wait for at the moment is I like to wait for the move up from 53 to finish, because then I can use this move as a clear example. It's the most recent clear example. Yeah. Abdullah, pleasure man. How do you count subwaves of wave 3? Could it be extended wave 5 in 3? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, now the highest amount of volume is here. So preferably we would then end your wave 3 on this top if we do move down now, that is. So in that case, you would then have 1, 2, 1, 2. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 5. No, we don't want it. Oh, wait. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 5. Yeah, we want to end wave 5 here. So then you go into a 1, 2, 1, 2 to start with, basically. There's always a potential for 4, 5, 4, 5 here. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 5. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 5. Wouldn't that be fun for a weekend range? Volume high, but this is the thing. The moment you continue moving up and volume is increasing, you just got to wait for a range to form. So of course now I put this 5 and 3 on the high here, but there's no range yet, right? There's nothing happened. You want to see a range form in your 4. We got to move this up slightly like this, and then your target is going to be this, and then pop. Oh, that's your target area. So then again, you get in touch with the support resistance area, which is very interesting, of course. So this is the way I would count it, with the highest volume being part of your wave 3. That's what I'm looking for. Blue wave 3, highest amount of volume. Doesn't mean your end is here. It depends on the range. So locally, you can still count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on a potential 3-minute time frame. But I don't really like to go that low. But I like the highest volume to be at the end of an impulse, if wave 3, or at least in a wave 3, not necessarily the end. But let me put this in the folder. So then this would be an idea. Okay, I gotta end the stream soon though. Friend is coming and we're gonna go. Rent a book to join the stream too. Yo, maybe a band-aid. How you doing? Good morning. Got the book for all the hearts you broke when you were wild, huh? I joined late. I was watching with 1 hour from behind. Stock RSI seems to be almost always way better than RSI. Okay, there you go. So that's a good tip as well. You know, for people that love using RSI, make sure to check out the stochastic RSI as well. And check it out based on the tip of Erhan. Sylvia is back. Yo, Sylvia, I don't know who your boyfriend is. So now that you've been here for 2 days in a row, roles might reverse. And your boyfriend might be, oh, damn, my girlfriend is watching this YouTuber all the time. This guy, this trader, this, you know. I started watching him, but now she's taking over and she's watching more than I am. And you're here again. I've had a kidney transplant personally. Hope you're doing fine, Donovan. Kidney transplants are no joke, eh? Of course, you can live with just one kidney, but generally when things go wrong with kidneys are very strong organs. They're very strong. And it's not great to, of course, have problems with kidneys. So I hope you're doing good, especially also after the surgery. And the doctor whips out his instruction manual. You know, during a surgery, we always have some music in the room. But there's, of course, there's a lot of conversation about, okay, you know, like this and that and that. It's all detail, it's all accuracy. It's imagine Koen being your surgeon and he'll count your ribs as fibs. Here, guys. Pookie, how to recognize an extended wave 5 when wave 5 preferably 3 is not extended. And then wave 5 has a higher probability of being extended, and wave 5 has more volume than 3. That's when you start to think about extended 5s. Rodney, welcome. Let's do an Elliott wave rave just before you hand over the house to the new owner. Yo. Isn't the human body already golden? Yes. If you would look at the full design of the human body, it fits the Fibonacci narrative. Yeah. Did I miss the oracle? Yeah, she just popped in for a second here. She said, yo, your friend is coming in 10 minutes, which now is only a few. So I got a pack. If we manage to have a boring weekend, despite the BTC conference, it would be somewhere, no? Pleasure, Rosie. Interesting end of the month, I agree. Tell Pookie, bro, that I will make his heart go into a systole if he keeps disregarding my messages while being here. Thank you. Yo, guys, I'm now being involved in relationship matters. This is going to be an issue. It's not my place to be, I'm afraid. Pookie bro, please, for the sake of not only Sylvia, but everyone watching and the channel, please reply to Sylvia Kostova so that the next time your girlfriend's here, she can enjoy the analysis and not be angry on you. You know? So you can together go through one door again. There you go. Hopefully that helped. Goody, I worked in a hospital for 24 years as a paramedic. Yo, always was in front of the human brain. The brain, yep. I've seen a couple of open brain surgeries as well. Parkinson's surgeries, tumor surgeries, mainly in Maastricht. But yeah, it's amazing. Nevertheless, quitted the job to be an entrepreneur. It's the good, you know, do what you love. I mean, if you're a doctor, it doesn't matter. Yo. But yeah, good to hear, Rudy. I'm actually curious to hear what kind of industry you're in. Guys, I gotta go. Gotta go. Watching the Olympic ceremony tonight? Maybe. I'll be hanging out with a friend of mine. He just arrived here. So Sylvia, do you have a wave 5 target of 1 yet? Not at the moment. Let's just wait for a wave 4 here, potential 4 first. Tell your friend to join the live. No, he's shy. He's shy. He was here last time. He doesn't appear on the cam. Okay, guys, I gotta go. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for being here. Next stream will be probably. Oh, I'm not sure about the stream tomorrow because we have the final barbecue with my friend group before I move to another country. Final things to say, by the way. 4 hour time frame bullish scenario has higher probabilities. Also here locally, we're looking for the bullish scenario, right? We're just waiting for this wave 3 to finish. Highest amount of volume in the recent move up, right? You preferably want to see that in a wave 3. Doesn't mean your wave 5 of 3 here is in. So I prefer to remove this and just wait for a range to form. If price continues up, your 3 goes up, your 4 goes up, your target areas move up as well, taken from the low to the high of your 3, right? So we just got to wait for price to start a range. But that being said, thanks for being here, right? Appreciate you guys hanging out. Bourbon will be there as well tomorrow, at least one of the two. But thanks everyone for being here. Tonight will not be a video on YouTube because I'll be with my friend, but everything has been covered here. And tomorrow morning will be a video, but I'm not yet sure about a live stream because of the barbecue with all my friends, and it starts quite early. So I'll keep you up to date. No, I'll keep you up to date. I'll try my best. So thanks everyone for being here. Daniel, welcome, but also goodbye because I gotta go on this other channel. Yeah, my dad gaming channel. Cheers, everyone.